Okay, today we have a video on how to cut a 9/32 radius on our tool. Okay, the first step is, number one, you have this sheet. You want to make sure you have this sheet because it has all the different numbers we're going to need, all the different numbers that we're going to dive in on our X value. So make sure you have that sheet. Secondly, let's look at our setup really fast. I have my knurled diameter, which is the back of that TMA hammer, on my chuck. I have 3 of the same shims. Make sure your shims are the exact same thickness. You can do that by color. If they're colored shims, all you got to do is take a micrometer here and measure them. If they're the same, if they're 3 of the same shims, it's going to spin evenly, and that's going to be helpful. And the tool that we're going to be using is just a standard outside diameter grooving tool. So make sure you have that set up, and you should be good to go. Alright, step number 1 is going to be to line up the back edge of our grooving tool with the front of the face of the part. I'm just going to move my grooving tool in, move it over. What I want to do here is just line up those 2 edges. So I get a better shot of that, like so. Alright, once we have it lined up like this, with that back face flush or flat, with the top of the Z face, what you want to do is take your Z value on your digital readout and go ahead and reset it. Okay, now our Z is lined up. And we look at our sheet here, it says begin 0.238 from the end of the radius. Right now we're at 0, so what I'm going to do is pick this up, move it off the part, and then move it 0.281 over, and we can see we're like this. Now our Z-axis is set up. This is our new Z0. So once again, for the second time, now that I'm at 281 thousandths, I'm going to go ahead and reset it. Okay? Now I'm ready to do my X-axis. It's kind of a 2-step process. First step is to take our part and approach the diameter nice and gently until we just touch that diameter, and you'll feel the resistance on your micrometer hand dial. And right there, that's our X0. So we're going to go ahead and reset that. What that'll do is that'll tell us the current diameter where we're at. That'll zero it out with that. But we have to know what diameter we're starting with. Alright, so here you're going to want your 0 to 1 micrometer. Alright, and you're going to want to measure that diameter. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my outside 0 to 1 mic, lining up here to see what I start with. Alright, so this stock after being knurled is 0.625. Okay? 0.625 is my stock. I need to start at 0.562. Okay? Here's where we're going to use our calculator. 0.625 minus 0.562. Alright, so I have to remove 63 thousandths to get to my 0 on my X. Okay? So here I'm going to do a dive-in cut. So I'm not going to move my X, just my Y here. Okay, a couple things before I turn on the machine. I'm in low gear. Okay, make sure you are in low gear. Anytime you groove, you want to be at about 200 RPM. You want to make sure you're using lots of oil. So we're turning on our machine here. My RPM is about at 200. So right here I'm at about -3 thousandths. And I need to dive in, we said 63. So I'm going to dive in nice and slow. So I'm at 63 thousandths right there. And that is going to be my X0. So I'm going to take this now and hit reset. Now I'm at my 0, 0. Now I'm at my starting point. So again, to get to your starting point, it should actually look like this. You're over 0.281 and your diameter, what's cut, right now, if I were to measure what's cut, that's going to be 0.562. Okay? Alright, we got some oil on our part now, so it's ready to go. I'm going to turn it back on. Okay, and right now this is set up. I got my sheet here, and so we follow the directions. It says move 20 thousandths to the left, and then basically dive in 1,000, then dive in 2,000, 6,000, and so on. So drop the camera here so you guys can see the process a little bit. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 20 thousandths over on my Z. So I'm moving over 20 thousandths. Alright, and then I'm going to dive in only slightly. I'm going to dive in 1,000. Alright? Now I'm going to dive in another 20 thousandths on my Z, so I'm at -40. Then I'm going to dive in -2 on my X. Following the sheet then, -60 on my Z. And then on my X I'm going to go in -6 thousandths. Same thing, -80. Now I'm going to dive in 12 thousandths. Sorry about the noise there. I want you to stop and see what my digital readout is. So I'm going by 20s here on my Z, and I'm at -12 right here on my X. That number will jump around a little bit on you, but that's alright. Because it's sounding kind of bad, it's a good point to add some oil. Notice when I add that oil, that horrible sound goes away. Alright, so you continue that until you have a final radius. Okay, now you've gotten this far, you should end up with a radius something like this. We finish it up with a file and abrasive cloth. What that's going to do is there's these small individual steps, and they may be hard to see in this video, but that'll smooth out those steps and create a more uniform radius. But there's your 9/32 radius for your TMA hammer. Thank you.